Hi everybody, it's Amanda from Queen of Hearts Photography, and today I'm going to edit a few more photos for you using the new Bella collection. So let's go on and get started. So here is our first image that we're going to use, and we are going to run Dazzled, which is one of our starter bases. Now I love this action because it's really going to liven the picture up a lot. As you can see, the before and the after, it really brought a lot of light into the image. It's very sunny. And I am going to run, I want to add a little bit more color, so I'm also going to run Rich Color on top of Dazzled here. That color is a little too strong for me, so I'm going to lower the opacity, like 55% I think is what I'm going to keep it at. Now, the actions are stackable. However, the brushes are going to work a lot better on a flat background. And I want to show you how to use some of the brushes, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flatten these actions here so we can get into the brushes. The first brush I'm going to run is the Dreamy Bokeh, which we are going to brush onto the background. Now obviously the background is already blurry, and this action is going to work best on backgrounds that are already pretty much blurry. What it does is it's really going to add a much more creamier texture. It's really going to kind of just help everything mesh together. Now you want to take a white paintbrush here, make sure it's on 100% opacity, and just go ahead and brush it onto the background. And kind of go ahead and get rid of that for a second. Want to make sure we don't miss anything here. You can always look over at your mask and you can see the black is everything that we've missed. So obviously we don't want to paint on her, but we missed a few spots over here and a few spots. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and flatten this because we are going to run a few more brushes. Like I said, I want to show you how to use these brushes. So I'm going to run Baby Skin, which is going to be our skin brush. Kind of let it run here. My computer is so slow. I'm so sorry. I need a new computer, but I don't know, maybe Santa will bring me one. There's just so much stuff on this computer. Programs, pictures. My husband does all of his schoolwork on here. What we really need is 2 computers, to be honest. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. Now again, you're going to get a white paintbrush. You're going to want to make this smaller because you're going to want to make sure it fits on the skin. And go ahead and paint it on. Now this is on 75% by default, the opacity. Now you could of course make it stronger or less strong, however you like it. You want to make sure that you get all of the exposed skin. So I'm going to go on in and get her arms and stuff too here. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this because we are going to run one more brush, which is going to be our sharpening brush. Now I can tell you that I pretty much use this sharpening brush on all of my images. Just click OK. You're going to get your white brush again and you're just going to paint on the features. You just want to sharpen the features. Now if you watched the introduction video, I kind of explained why I use a sharpening brush rather than just sharpening over the entire image. And that's because we don't want to sharpen the creamy background or her creamy skin. We just want to sharpen and make those features pop, which is what a sharpening brush is good for. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of the details on her dress to pop and kind of just go around the edges here a little bit. And then that's it. I'm going to flatten all this, that way we have our completed image. I'm going to pull up the before so you can see. Here's what we had, here's what we started with straight out of camera, and here's what we have now. So that's our first image. Let's move on to our next, which is going to be a picture of my boys here. Now this image is a little bit darker, as you can see here. So we're going to run a few more actions to kind of bring everything together. We are going to run Clean Color. I kind of wanted to pick different actions for each photo so I could kind of show you how all the different actions worked. But there are some actions that are just go-tos for me, which are going to be like the color pops and the sharpening brush and that kind of thing. So once it runs, you can go ahead and open it up and you can kind of adjust it to however you want. Now the center fill, I'm going to lighten up a little bit. It's at 50% by default. I'm going to bring it to about 65%, 64, whatever. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to turn the warmth off for now because I'm going to add warmth later, and everything else I'm going to leave. So I'm going to close this up. And the next action I'm going to run is going to be the Rich Color because I want to add a little bit more of a color pop. I'm sure I'll lower the opacity. It's probably going to be, yeah, it's a little bit too strong for me. So like 55% is kind of like my go-to, so that's what I'm going to leave it at. Now I also want to add some richness, so I'm going to click on the Get Rich Quick action, run that, and I'm going to lower this down to about 30% or so is pretty good. Make sure that your folders are closed before you run any other actions on top. Just a little tip. So I'm going to go in and run the Too Cool Fix action. This is how I'm going to add my warmth. This will probably be too much. It's a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to go on and probably about 40, I don't know, 40% maybe. Let's leave it like 40. That's pretty good. So I'm going to leave it about 40%. And now the last action I'm going to run on top of this one, I'm going to run one of the correctors because sometimes you can get a little bit of a cyan. My son here, my oldest son, he's very pale and his skin is a nightmare to work with. And that's why I developed all these correctors in the first place. So you can see kind of a little bit of cyan in his face, and that'll just drive me crazy. So I'm going to go on with the cyan hue corrector. Now we only need a slight fix. So by default, it's going to be too much for me, and it's only at 5% by default, which I found to be relatively good for most images. But for this, I only need a slight fix. So I'm going to leave it at about 2, maybe 3, 2 or 3. What do you think? We'll leave it at 2 for now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this folder up. And now you can see we have all of our actions here. But like I said, if you're going to use a brush, you're going to want to use it on a flat layer. So I'm going to flatten all of these for now because the last action I'm going to run is a sharpening brush. Like I said, I run that on pretty much everything. It's how I sharpen all of my images. So I'm going to run this real quickly. You're going to grab your white brush, and I am just going to kind of go over them. Now, I didn't use baby skin on their skin because they're kind of far away. It's not really worth it to me. You could run the bokeh action on the background if you wanted to, but for the sake of this video, I just kind of wanted to show you a few different actions. So there we go. Let's go ahead and pull up our before, and now you can see the before and the after. And this is just a really nice, clean edit. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It's just nice and clean. Now we're going to go on to our last image, and our last image is a picture of a flower because I kind of wanted to run one of our pastel actions. I love this action, and I kind of wanted to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go in to my actions, and I'm going to run base first, just to kind of give it a little contrast, a little color boost, all those wonderful things. I'm going to hit OK. And I don't think I'm even going to adjust anything in the group because I'm pretty satisfied with it is. You can see the before and the after. You don't have to flatten it. You can just go ahead and run your next action, which is going to be hourglass. This is our pastel action. And I love this action, so I'm going to go ahead and run it. It's kind of a long action. Okay, so you can see the before and the after, and then I'm going to open up the group and I'm going to click Extra Color Fade, which is going to give you extra pastel color. And they're so beautiful. You can see the before and the after of adding the extra, and the before and the after of adding the hourglass. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull up the before for you. And here's our before, and here's our after. The pastel colors are so beautiful, and they look beautiful, not just on flowers. I should have some examples on my website of actually using the hourglass on a portrait image, so you can check that out. Now I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and if there's anything else that you would like to see from the Bella collection or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. And until I talk to you guys next time, bye!